It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. This is the Action Sports Jax postgame show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.
Oh, it's a happy Sunday around here. Finally, it's been a long time, almost 400 days. The Jacksonville Jaguars break the losing streak, and they do it in London. I don't care if they did it on Mars, Jupiter, Australia, Antarctica, Jacksonville. Who cares? It's done. The Jaguars' 20-game skid is over. They won't catch the Bucs, and hopefully we never, ever go through this again. How about that game? You saw it on CBS 47, and listen, it's painful at times. This is being a Jags fan. It's tough. Jags are not that good. They try to find ways to lose. Miami did the same thing. Those were not two good football teams out there. There are moments of I don't know about brilliance, but good, and then they are, well, hidden by moments of bad. And both teams showed that. Both coaches showed that. I thought both coaches almost lost themselves the football game. Urban Meyer, and then in the end, Brian Flores. Really made no sense to do what they did on fourth down, in my opinion, when they could have pinned the Jaguars back. But they went for the win, and a lot of times fan bases don't mind that. And Miami ends up losing. Let's just start with this, okay? The fourth down play calling of the Jaguars has been catastrophic over the last few weeks, but they got a big one. Let's revisit. Brent Martineau, by the way, here on the Jaguars postgame show. And if you go back to the Cincinnati game, that 4th and inches play right before the half could have gone up 21-0. Bad play call, they don't get in, right? Or bad execution, let's just say. And then the next week, here against Tennessee, this was just last week, in Jacksonville, 4th and inches again. James Robinson not even in the game in the whole sequence. They get stuffed with Carlos Hyde, and, well, they don't get in. Earlier in this game today, really, Urban, I'm an aggressive guy. I love going for it. Urban's an aggressive guy. But this is a mistake. That's sometimes the NFL, it doesn't matter NFL, this might have been Pop Warner. You go take a 7-point lead, especially when your defense had given you an opportunity and you're playing pretty good and you have all the momentum. You keep the momentum. They gave Miami a chance to get the momentum back on a 4th and 2 play. James Robinson didn't get the first down. At least they gave it to James. And Miami goes right back down and scores. And the Jags come back, though. They get a field goal and a big one by Matthew Wright, who's the hero today after the Jags have had so many field goal kicking problems and kicker problems. Matthew Wright gets it done. I don't know how that first, the one to make it 2020 got in, but he had the perfect amount of curve on it. It looked like a pitch out of the ALCS or a bend it like Beckham over there in England. And then he kicks the game winner, and that thing was beautiful. So, but the 4th down play that makes you forget at least temporarily about those other 3. The Jags, I was surprised, and I said this on social media in live, well, while we're watching it live, I was surprised that they ran the clock down so much because they had the ball on the 44-yard line. It was 4th and 8, so you get why they want to be a little careful. You don't want to give Miami a chance at a Hail Mary, but, I mean, come on. I mean, if you're going to be aggressive on 4th and 2 to try to go put the game away, who cares about a Hail Mary coming the other way, some 60 yards away? And so I thought 6 or 7 seconds was the key. But we've seen this before. We've seen it against the Jags. We've seen it around the NFL. You can really run a play in 3 or 4 seconds. But there's a lot going on right there because the Jags had to get a first down. They had to get 4th and 8 to be able to call the timeout and get a chance to kick. Well, they executed it perfectly. Trevor Lawrence executes it in a big spot. Laviska Shenault, who had some problems with drops, or at least I don't know about problems, but had a couple of drops. He did get it done in the big moment. Action Sports Jax Stuart Weber is live in the press room there at Tottenham in London. And let's throw it to Stuart Weber right now for more.
Hey, Brett. Yeah, as you said, live inside the press conference room for the Jacksonville Jaguars here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. As you just saw, what a finish for the Jaguars as Matthew Wright kicks not 1 but 2 huge field goals down the stretch, basically finishing that kicker competition that really has been the talk here for the last couple of weeks. By the way, Ryan, just give me a point when someone's coming up since I can't see them. But yeah, Matthew Wright, what a finish from him. What a way to go and get it done here in London and really prove that he should be the kicker for this team, as he just came onto the roster a couple weeks ago. Had that one kick that kind of made everybody doubt last week, where it was 53 yards but came up short. Well, his leg was certainly not an issue in this case, as he's able to boot it through the uprights, not once, but twice there late in the fourth quarter. And how about the call on 4th and 1, Urban Meyer, or 4th and 8 rather, late in the game, going for that first down, having 1 second left to go. It was an interesting game, talking about the ebb and flow of the crowd here in London. As we've documented the many years that the Jaguars have been here playing in England, it's, I don't want to say a fickle crowd, but they're going to cheer for whoever makes the big plays. And we noticed as the game kind of hit a lull in the middle of it, so did the fan base from both sides and the neutral observers as well. They wanted to see the big plays. That's what they come here for each and every year. This year, obviously, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Every other year for the Jaguars, it's been at Wembley Stadium. But when the Jaguars come up with those huge plays, the big run by James Robinson, the touchdown, the turnovers, they love turnovers here. And I got to say, they really enjoyed the fourth down, bringing out the sticks. They really enjoyed that part when the Jaguars picked up a close 4th down late in the game. So it's an interesting environment, without a doubt. And it's an environment that these Jaguars players are going to remember for years to come. I mean, Trevor Lawrence picking up his first career win. So many of the players on this team, first career win, and Urban Meyer, of course, as well, doing it on the road in a home game in London, England. So we will have Urban Meyer, as well as a slew of players, including the hero of the day, Matthew Wright, all coming out here live from London inside the Tottenham Hotspur press area. We'll have that coming up for you live in just a few moments. For now, Stuart Weber, Action Sports Jacks. Let's go back to you.
All right, Stuart, appreciate it, man. Good for you to be there. And the Jaguars get win number 1 of the Trevor Lawrence Urban Meyer era. And Stuart Weber is the only local reporter over there in London with the team. So at least there'll be a happy bunch of players coming to that podium in just a moment. And Urban Meyer as well, who gets win number 1. You know, I was talking about 4th down plays prior to going over to London with Stuart, and it's not just the 4th down play that set up the field goal, it's the big 4th down stop that the Jaguars had, and then they proceeded to go backwards once they got good field position. I mean, they should have wrapped that up a lot easier than they made it look. But again, as I said at the top, when you lose and you've lost 20 in a row and you're 0-5, and frankly, your record says that you're not a good football team, well, everything is hard. Jags fans know that. I don't have to explain that to you. Everything is hard, and they made it hard, but they got it done. I mean, they find ways to lose all the time. They found a way to win, so I think you got to applaud them for that. And good for those players. It's been 400 days. I just said on social media, we've been hammering those guys for 400 days, hammering the organization, the coaches, all of it, and they got to win. So good for them. And listen, we know they have a quarterback that's going to take them places at some point, as long as they can put some good things around him. Trevor Lawrence is good. Trevor Lawrence made some big plays today, some more plays. Outside of the fumble, which, by the way, was his blind side. I'm not really sure how much you put that on him. Jawan Taylor missed an assignment. I didn't think Trevor felt that very well. And that's, by the way, he was going in. I think these moments are so huge for the Jags. It was 17-13. They put together a really nice drive. It was late in the 3rd, early in the 4th. They were chewing the clock. They were trying to go in for 24-13 and essentially, now it's never fully done, but put the game away for the Jags. And then they give up that one play. Jawan Taylor, missed kind of not whiffs, but he gives up the pressure. And in the end, Trevor Lawrence fumbled the football. So that's the lone turnover for the day. And even after that, the Jags got the ball right back. Their defense finally made a play, and their defense ends up making plays in this game. And look at Trevor. He goes over 300 yards. He's 25 or 41, and quite frankly, I think the numbers are better than that because of some of the inside football plays that he made at the line of scrimmage, using his legs to get out of some trouble. Also, the clutch play at the end. Also, there were drops. There were 3 pretty noticeable drops that could have changed the game and the way it went. So that could easily be 28 of 41 and for 330 or 340. But it was a nice day. Tua had a nice day for the most part, too. I mean, listen, when you have Tua throwing it 47 times, it just shows you that people are going to try to pick apart the Jaguars defense through the air, and Tua was able to do it. All right, Urban Meyer gets his first win. He's at the podium right now. Let's go to London. Jags win 23-20 on a walk-off win at Tottenham Hotspurs.
Starting back in February, how to organize this trip, and the hospitality, the environment, the setting, Our players love to do this. They made it clear to me they love coming over here, and then obviously to get a win like this. So I want to make sure, on behalf of the Jaguars, our football team and coaching staff, thank you for the hospitality.
Welcome to London, Coach. How does it feel to win?
Well, we need a win. You know, someone asked me last week if we're desperate for a win. We are desperate for a win, and we came close a few times, and there was a lot of things to fix. But you saw a young quarterback make a big-time play at the biggest time of the game, and then a young kicker that we just signed a couple weeks ago popped 2 50-plus yarders. So it was a great win.
Coach Meyer, did you enjoy the game? And
No,
the head
I
coach
couldn't.
ever really ever enjoy a game?
No, I can't stand it. No, I'm just kidding. I do. The actual game part you do enjoy. Obviously, it's a 3-hour root canal, but it's you know, Miami has a good team. You know, they've been some of the same struggles with injuries that we've been having, but I enjoyed. You know, I really enjoyed that locker room after the game. I think I enjoyed that more than the actual game.
Coach, what do you say to Trevor? You both enjoyed your first NFL victory together.
I'm sorry?
What are your conversations with Trevor post-game? You both enjoyed your first NFL victory.
Yeah, he came over and I said, come here, quarterback, let's watch this young kicker try to drill a 53, I think it's a 53-yarder. And he said, Coach, we're going to win this regardless. And that's, I get to coach a guy like that. That's kind of cool.
Were you surprised Miami went for it on 4th down?
No, it was close. It was, you know, I've gone for it 3 times now, 4th down. In the NFL, man, it's tough to get first downs and those, you know, but our defense penetrated and made a big stop there.
It's still a close game, so where does the team go from here to improve?
Well, we have a bye week next week, and we were down 3 offensive linemen during the course of that game, 3. And you know, whenever you have depth, which we do have some depth in the offensive line, Will Richardson did a nice job, went in there and protected our quarterback. We get Miles Jack back next week, one of our captains, and we just got to get this team full. And Tyson Campbell, our corner. So we were beat up a little bit. We just got to get our guys back.
Coach, that play on 4th down that you ran at the end, was that designed before the timeout, or did you use the time that Miami gave you with the timeout to change the plan?
Yeah, we changed plan. We're going to do a Hail Mary, or you know, one of the Big Ben plays, just a jump ball in the end zone. And I kept staring at the clock, and we practice this every week, and it's called slider. It's where you get the ball, and we usually say 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and we told our quarterback and LaVisque, and I had the official right there, and I said, you know, as soon as he catches and goes down, timeout, and he caught it, timeout, and I looked, there was still that 1 second left. So we practiced that quite a bit.
There'll be a lot of 4th down plays to kind of discuss. 4th and 2, this time you guys decided to go for it. Don't use the field goal and run James Robinson. Thought process going into that one instead of taking points. Have you maybe noticed the difference between college and NFL when it comes to, you know, those 4th and 4 plays and opportunities actually?
Yeah, you know, that's not like we don't discuss it. You know, our line coach and our coordinator, and we felt like that was the right call, and that's obviously we're not real productive on those 4th and shorts. We've had 2 in the red zone as well. So a bye week, we're going to, you know, just research, you know, just keep working at it. And I've always been on the philosophy you can't get that far, and it was not. I don't believe it was 4th and 2. It was a little bit less than that. But once again, like you said, this is National Football League, and every inch is hard to get.
Coach, you've enjoyed some fantastic tries in college football. What were the fans like in the UK and Europe?
I'm sorry?
The fans.
How did you enjoy the fans today?
The fans? Oh, they're tremendous. Yeah, I couldn't exactly understand who they're cheering for at times because I saw all the, like I see here, all the different uniforms. But this is I'll never forget this the rest of my life. This is and thank you to the people, the fans, the setting, and our hosts at the Grove.
Coach, you said to us on Friday you had a decision to make around the kicking game. You've made that decision. How do you feel about that right now?
I feel great. I feel great for him. Like I said, I don't think anybody on our team ever heard him speak until about 10 minutes ago. And I had to tell him to raise his voice. He's a little guy. How cool is that for him?
Did you have a quick word with Wright before he came out for that last kick? If so, what did
No.
you say?
No, last thing he needs to see is me before he's making that kick. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. We'll have Trevor, Marvin Jones, Matthew Wright, and Josh Allen in shortly.
Well, there you go. That is Urban Meyer coming off his first win. You can tell he obviously enjoyed the experience. Stuart Weber asked him about that 4th and 2. or fourth and a little bit less than 2. Every inch is tough in the NFL, Urban said, and they're going to work on that during the bye week, these fourth downs, because, again, it's really the fourth down at the end of the day. I mean, there's so many plays in the game, of course, but when you take the fourth downs over the last few weeks, I mean, Jags could really have a couple wins, and even these could have gone the other way today in a bad way. So, but the last two fourth downs went good for the Jags. They stopped the play for the Dolphins. They got in field goal range for this guy, Matthew Wright, who's on the podium. He's been a Jag for 2 weeks, and he kicks the game winner, breaks a 20-game skid.
Awesome. Just happy they both went in. Happy I could help the team come out with a win.
Have you kicked 54 yards or 53 yards in practice at all?
Yeah, it's something we do pretty regularly, so I feel confident making those kind of kicks.
Matthew, what went through your head when you took your first field goal in the fourth quarter left your foot compared to what went through your head when the second field goal in the fourth quarter left your foot?
Yeah, so the first one, I actually thought I missed it. I was about ready to walk off the field, and then I saw the O-lineman turn around, and they were all happy, so that's when I realized it went in. But yeah, the second one felt a lot better, made a lot better contact, so just happy they both went in.
National cameras, Josh Langlow talking to you a lot after the made kick. How supportive of you has he been during this whole process? I know you guys both make the play over here. You're two of a kind, right together.
Yeah, he's actually been really helpful. There's no bad blood between either of us. We're both here to do a job, and we're just competing, and he's been really helpful actually with everything because he's had quite a long, successful career, so he's had some wise words for me.
Matthew, when was the last time you were under that kind of pressure to go produce?
Last year with Pittsburgh, I was in a couple of playoff type games, so I like to think that those were kind of similar. Obviously, a game winner is a different level, but just got to fall back on what I know and just do my job.
What was going through your head when you were kind of gravitating down toward the end zone? What was going through your head at the time?
I have no idea.
Did you hear the noise of the crowd as you were stepping up to kick? What was going through your head at that moment?
Yeah, so throughout the game, I like to try and kick into my net as the crowd is loud, just so I can kind of get that feeling. And so that way when I go out there for the real thing, it's just what I'm used to.
Overall, what about the London experience? It's a long trip to get here.
Yeah, it was awesome. We only got to go see the city for a couple hours yesterday, but it's such a beautiful city, and hopefully I can come back sometime and check it out some more.
What did you make of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
That was awesome. I grew up watching soccer. I grew up playing soccer. So, I mean, play FIFA all the time. So it's just awesome to get to do that in a stadium that I've kind of grown up in.
Any other questions? Thanks, Matt.
Coach said
one more.
Asked you to speak up in the locker room. People hadn't heard of you speak.
Yeah, I'm not a big talker.
Yeah, what was that like? And what did you say? What did people say to you?
I kind of forget what I said. I'll have to go back and watch the tape. But, yeah, just not a huge talker. Just here to do my job.
Did you get the game ball?
Yeah, I got one.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
What did Trevor say to you afterward, or in the locker room?
Just good job. Congrats. Just basic stuff.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Thank y'all.
Cheers.
Hey, what a deal for the kick! What a deal for the media over there in London. They got the kicker up on the podium. I mean, that's a beautiful day for everybody over there in London. Matthew Wright, what a moment! Hey, that's cool, right? Listen, everybody in Jacksonville should be excited today. There's no parades being thrown. Maybe we should have one, really. But for Matthew Wright, you think about these guys. He comes over a couple of weeks ago. He's in a weird situation. The whole Lambeau thing is odd and still kind of is. He's from right down the road, or kicked at UCF, and is the record holder there. And he hits extra points, but then misses an extra point and a field goal in the second game. And everybody's scratching their heads, and he makes 3 today. And that second one, I have no idea how it went in, but he bent that in. And the last one was right on the money. I mean, clutch. And that one showed off his leg a little bit more, because he missed a 53-yarder, hit the crossbar, was short last week in Jacksonville. And that 54-yarder, I believe it was, looked like it crossed for about by a half a yard. That was all he had. Now, this 53-yarder that he just kicked was pretty good, and it looked like it had distance. And there's video of him kicking like 60-plus yards. So it's been a little weird trying to figure out Matthew Wright, but he got it right, and he gets a game ball. I mean, that's a nice story over the last couple of weeks. I don't know if he even understands the magnitude of getting this city, this fan base, that locker room, that coaching staff a win. And listen, that's a big deal. We've known it. We've talked. It's 399 days, I believe, is the count today. since the last win. I mean, that is a long time in a league full of parity. And, hey, maybe it turns. The Jags, I always like this because the Jags now go into bye week and they get to sit on a good moment, a win, for the next couple of weeks. We get to talk about a win, and maybe they'll go to Seattle and beat a Russell Wilson-less Seahawks team in a couple of weeks. We'll see. Maybe this turned the corner a little bit. We'll find out. And overall, the defense, as you look at it, they only give up 20 points, which I know they kept showing that stat in the game of 24 in a row, which is true and accurate. And the defense looked awful at times in this game, but they also looked pretty good for the most part in the second half. I mean, they gave up 2 touchdown drives, but a 370-yard day or 40-yard day for Tua. All right, let's take a look at the AFC South standings. We got a couple things to show you. The standings, I don't think we have to worry about this in Jacksonville, but the Jags do get off the schneid, and, well, everybody but Tennessee has 1 win. Let's go to Trevor Lawrence's first NFL win, and he gets it done. Here he is at the podium in London.
To the college victories that you had in the past.
Oh, man, it's different. It's special. Obviously, we've had a rough start to the year. We've been through a lot of adversity, even in this game, just having to fight back, battle back, and find a way to win. It means a lot, and obviously, like I said, we've struggled a little bit, but to get this win, have this momentum going into the bye week, to do it here in London, I mean, it's all just special. I always remember this one, my first win out here. Like, it's hard to even, like, imagine. So it's awesome. I'm just really proud of this group. You know, we decided earlier this week we're going to win this game, and we talked about on the sideline there's going to be so many ups and downs throughout every game. You just got to keep playing, and we did that and found a way to win.
Well done. Trevor, how did you find the experience here in the Spurs Stadium?
Oh, it was unbelievable. All the fans, I mean, it was packed. I haven't seen a stadium that packed since before COVID, so it was really cool. The fans were super engaged. It was a really cool experience, something I've never been a part of. So, I'm excited. I love that the Jags play this game at least one every year. So I'm excited to come back, and the fans were awesome. So thank you guys, all the Jags fans and all the American football fans in London. Appreciate y'all.
You stopped losing streak. What's your message to the UK and fans back home after snapping that streak and where we go from here?
Yeah, just taking this momentum. Obviously, there's still so much more work to do. But it feels good to get a win. And, I wasn't a part of the other 15, but I was a part of the first 5 here. And, we hate losing. It's been tough. We've had some games that, you feel like could have gone our way and didn't. So to get a win, especially in that fashion, a game-winning field goal, I mean, it's just crazy. So it feels good. I just tell everybody to stick in there with us. We're going to be fine. We're getting better every week. I love the momentum we have right now, getting a week off, get some people healthy. It's exciting for sure.
Can you walk us through that touchdown pass and what you saw?
Yeah, they just played man coverage, and we had a vertical shot to Marv, and that's my guy. I always give him a shot if I can. Got one-on-one, and both of their corners were actually down today. So 2 corners that haven't played a ton this year. So we felt like we had good matchups, and just letting him make the play. I mean, it was an okay throw. He really made the play. So just giving him a chance, and he'll do the work. So. It's awesome. Just told him, way to be ready, man. I mean, you just never know when your number's going to get called and you have to go win the game. And we had a bunch of guys step up. That last drive, I mean, LaVisca on the last catch, getting down, knowing the situation, calling the timeout with 1 second left. Our defense getting the stop on 4th and 1, getting the turnover earlier in the game. There's so many things that happen that you never know when that play is going to be, and there was a few of them tonight. And we made those plays when we needed to. And then obviously him making that kick, I mean, I think he was telling me he was like a software engineer like a month and a half ago. And then now he snapped our 20-game losing streak and made the game winner from 52, 53, I don't know. But just crazy. You can't even make it up. So I'm proud of him, just proud of this team.
Trevor, do you feel like Miami was lining up for a Hail Mary on the last one when you slammed?
So, yeah, that was actually something we kind of checked too late. We were gonna take a shot, and then didn't really like what they were doing. It was kind of just like throwing up a prayer, taking a shot at the end zone. So we checked it after they called the timeout, got to something else, and that's something we've been working on. That you always have in, because you never know at the end of a game. If you have a timeout, you have to know the situation. How long does it take to get down and get a timeout called? And honestly, 5 seconds was really less than what we needed, but we were just like, I think we have a shot. We can get down quick, call a timeout, and 4th and 8 makes it hard because you can't get down too quick or you won't get the first down. So was a situation that really it's hard to prepare for, but having all those reps in practice of that situation of getting down, getting down, calling a timeout, really paid off, and the guys were just ready and answered when we needed to.
Trevor, given the characters and the small schools and the way it ended, do you think this could be a spark for you guys to really get you going?
I think so. I mean, obviously there's a lot of games left, and we got to keep playing. And just because you win one game doesn't mean you're gonna go win the rest. You got to go to work every week and prepare. And just like this game tonight, I mean, you see how the separation's so small in these games. So you really just have to go play and play a full game. And I think confidence is huge, though. I don't think we've necessarily played with that confidence the first 5 weeks, and tonight we did. You know, we weren't going to be stopped. We were like, we're going to win this game. No matter how hard it gets, no matter what the situation is, we're going to find a way to win, and we did. And that's got to be the mindset every week, and I think we're building on that, and I like where this team's headed.
Trevor, you say special memories of being that first game in London. I don't know if you're aware that that winning game.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I don't know how has there been a lot of rookies play over here?
Oh, yeah, it's been loads.
Okay. That's awesome. Well, glad I was the one to do it. Appreciate you guys. So it was awesome being here. It's beautiful. So we had a great trip. Looking forward to coming back.
Trevor, you talk about, obviously you got the win. Can you just talk about the team spirit? Because in the past, teams have come over for a week before London. You've only been here a few days, but has it been like, have you had a chance to get to know the team a little bit better, being away with them? Has that helped you just as a rookie, but also just as part of the team? Have you felt that a bit of bonding here as well?
For sure. And I thought it was great. We were kind of like hanging around all day at the hotel, playing cards, just watching, doing whatever, just hanging out, making those memories and building those relationships. And I think that's one of the biggest things with a team is you have to be close, and that's why you see stuff like tonight, like stuff like that can happen when you have a really close team and you can really count on one another. If you don't know the guy you're playing next to, it's hard to count on them. It's hard to have those hard conversations. I can go to Marvin or LaVisca or whatever, and if I'm pissed about what he did on a route, I can go and say it to him, and I don't have to hold back. But if you don't know that guy, it's a lot harder. So stuff like that, I think we're getting there, and I just love where we're at. Obviously, we're pumped to get this win. It's a long time coming, and hopefully a lot more on the way. What'd you say? I did. Well, last night I did. The night before I didn't. So 1-1.
So a couple of things. Were you able to talk to Tua maybe before the game? It's kind of a rematch from 2019, and then just secondarily, were you surprised to see Miami go for it on that fourth down instead of punting it away?
Yeah, I talked to Tua right after the game. He actually came up and found me, and that's a guy I've just always respected, and I've kind of appreciated and admired from afar just how he's handled himself. I think he's done a great job his whole career. And he just came up and said congrats and good luck, and it's really hard to win, so congrats. And like you see in that game, it is hard to win. So I appreciate that. But what was the second part to your question? Sorry.
The Miami fourth down.
Oh, yeah.
Was that a surprise to see them not punting it away?
No, I don't think it was surprising. I think in that situation, you got to try to win the game. It was fourth and 1, I believe, and our defense just made a huge play. But if they get that first down, they're in a really good position to win the game on a field goal there. So I definitely see what they're doing there. Our defense just came up and made the play, which was awesome.
Trevor, it was your first win with the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was in a home game. It wasn't played in Jacksonville, it was played in London. How special is it to get that win here in London, or would you rather come to Jacksonville?
Anywhere. I'll take that win anywhere, honestly, at this point. No, it was cool. It just adds to the whole trip out here. We came out here a couple days ago on the time change and trying to figure it out. And for me, this is like I've never done anything like it. And a lot of the guys haven't been out here either. So there was all that, trying to figure it out. How do we prepare and just staying focused the whole week. I thought the guys did a great job. And then getting this win here, packed stadium in another country, it's just adds to the story. So it's special. This win would have been special anywhere, but I'm glad it's here. I'm excited for the plane ride home. It's going to be fun. So, man, it was a great night.
Jaguars are London's team, and you're London's quarterback.
For sure. After this game, for sure. And all the fans, the thing I loved, one of the things I loved the most was on our third downs, everyone was quiet, and on Miami's third downs, everybody was loud. So that was cool to hear everybody kind of rooting for us. I know there was a few Miami fans in the stands, but it was awesome. So thank you all so much. Enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing y'all next year.
Thank you.
Well, there's Trevor Lawrence. He gets his first NFL win, and he does it with a big-time play on 4th down and 8. Gets it to Laviska Shenault, and that sets up the game-winning kick. And listen, we're going on a month now, it feels like, if my math's correct, of Trevor Lawrence playing good football. He's played good football. I don't know if he's played great football. At times he's played great. But first 2 weeks, there were some growing pains. He has really learned a lot. And if you just watch him around the line of scrimmage, I think that's the impressive stuff. And then some of the athletic plays that he makes with his legs today to get out of traffic. And then the beautiful throw to Marvin Jones. Let's take a look at some of the notes from today. Marvin Jones, I just tweeted this while Trevor was talking. I think he was he was the difference maker today for me. You know, it's James Robinson usually is. And James was good, but Miami really loaded up the box and tried to stop the run. So Marvin Jones, 7 receptions for 100 yards and a touchdown. He had 1 catch last week. And that was a big catch, too. But he made a play in the end zone, then made some big plays, the back shoulder play as well. I think that was the tying field goal drive. So big day for Marvin Jones. James Robinson does his thing. Again, limited. I thought he needed more touches and carries than 17. But, you know, overall, it's going to be hard to be too critical of what the Jags did coming off this win. And then 3rd downs. Look at the Jags win, despite only going 3 for 11 on 3rd downs, while Miami was highly successful. A lot of that happened on the first couple of drives of the game. All right, more to come tonight and today, and enjoy this one. Celebrate this one. Hope the food tastes better, the beverages taste better, and at least go down easier. And you can watch some football knowing the Jags got a W. That's kind of nice. We'll talk more about it tonight. Action Sports Jax Prime Time's coming up at 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47. Stewart from London. Josh Allen's going to talk to the media. We'll hear from him as well. Trevor, Urban, Matthew Wright, the hero. Dan Hicken will join me here tonight. Action Sports Jax Prime Time. Jaguars get a win. And by the way, even though they're coming back from London, don't forget Jags Report live tomorrow from Sneakers, 7 o'clock on Fox 30, and James Robinson scheduled to join us tomorrow, 7 o'clock from Sneakers. So come on out, say hello. He will be with us in person. James Robinson continuing his fantastic season. Jags get the win, 23-20. They win it at the buzzer. And now they go to the bye week. And the Jaguars won't play again here at home for, well, until November, because the bye week, then a trip to Seattle. That's the next couple of weeks for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next game at that place will be Florida, Georgia in a couple of Saturdays. Hope you have a good rest of the day, everybody. Thanks for watching our Action News Jax Jaguars post-game show from London all the way here in Jacksonville. Jags get a win. Win number 1, break the skid, 23-20.
It's the best local sports show in Jacksonville. Thanks for watching the Action Sports Jax postgame show, sponsored by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.